What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WrestleMania 41 not fully booked, WWE's reaction to Tony Hinchcliffe on Raw was a complete dud, Big E responds to his insults, Drew McIntyre called some wrestlers pussies, the Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton situation has gone 100% worse, the reason why Ric Flair is not allowed to be at WrestleMania, Giulia returns to NXT, NXT fans unload on Swerve Strickland, a WWE Divas champion signed to a Legends deal, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. And now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at WrestleMania 41 is not fully booked. Now, WrestleMania is fast approaching, and while WWE has announced 11 matches so far, fans want to know whether there will be any more. Well, WrestleVotes discussed the lineup during a recent edition of Sportskeeda's Backstage Q&A and mentioned, so it's definitely not 13. From what I've been told, it's either 14 or 15. Saturday night may make 8 matches, and 7 on Sunday is what I've been told. Now, we're definitely expecting a tag title match to be added to the show, as well as the SmackDown Women's Championship, but what other matches could actually make the show? Do you think 14 or 15 is too many? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Tony Hinchcliffe on Raw was a dud, and Big E responds. Now it's time to look at a backstage reaction to comedian Tony Hinchcliffe's appearance on Raw to promote his upcoming gig hosting the roast of WrestleMania on Sunday night after the Showcase of the Immortals ends. Hinchcliffe called the action for a match, but his performance was blasted by some fans online who felt Tony should just stick to stand-up. While there was also outrage over the alleged joke Hinchcliffe made where he mocked both Big E and Michael Cole by saying the only thing stiffer than Michael Cole is Big E's neck. But now Fightful Select is reporting on what the backstage reaction to Hinchcliffe's appearance was. Those we spoke to backstage in WWE admitted that Tony Hinchcliffe's spot came across as a dud. Now, the report did add that Hinchcliffe was very respectful at the show, but in regards to his joke about Big E's neck, something Hinchcliffe made light of even though the accident nearly paralyzed him, he mentioned, "I guess at my big age of 39 years old, people will say what they want about you. Their opinion of you has nothing to do with me. It's not my business. Look, say what you want. He was given a mic, he was given an opportunity. People will feel how they want to. It's just, there's a lot of discourse oftentimes as a public figure. People will say things about you, whether they're jokes, whether or not. And that is their right. I think the one thing is, and I get like, I'm on here, it was said on the show, I'm supposed to talk, especially when things are mentioned about me, I should have an opinion on them. It is tiring having to weigh in on everybody's opinion or whatever they say. Look, I'm not hurt, I'm good. I want the discourse to be had without me, honestly. I really have no desire to weigh in on this. I didn't sign up for this. I wasn't aware of this. He did what he wanted to. People signed off on it. It has nothing to do with me, truly. Now, many people believe that Hinchcliffe wasn't even funny and it was the low point of this week's show. Now, the comedian is known for his take no prisoners sense of humor, and he's been called out for crossing the line more than once, and you never know what he'll say. WWE knew this when they hired him to host its upcoming roast, so if he says something offensive, they'll have no one to blame but themselves. What do you guys think of Hinchcliffe's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Drew McIntyre calls wrestlers pussies. Drew McIntyre is at it again, letting the world know how he really feels about something. In this case, McIntyre roasted today's new generation of wrestlers. Drew, who's adopted a Snake Plissken look after an injury to his eye when Damian Priest chokeslammed him into a car windshield, appeared on the Wafflin' Show, and he discussed what it would take for him to stop working a match. Unless I was dead, I would continue the match. We've seen guys, Triple H tore his quad off the bone, continued the match, got put into the maneuver the Walls of Jericho, where he's held in a maneuver that hurts your quads in general, and his was not attached. But McIntyre fired off saying that's the kind of mentality most of our superstars have. Maybe some of them, because some of the new guys are freaking pussies. Now, although McIntyre's remarks may seem harsh, he's the type of person who talks the talk and walks the walk. There are many instances where Drew worked with injuries, including neck and back injuries and illnesses with the flu, without any complaint. But do you think he's been a little too harsh? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, the Charlotte and Tiffany situation has got 100% worse. As WWE says, this was a total wreck. Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton apparently made things very personal during their 4th April mic battle on SmackDown, leading to WWE scrubbing much of the exchange when it uploaded it to its social media accounts. However, fans still looking for the uncensored version can still find it on USA Network's upload. But now a new report from Fightful Select is providing an idea what the backstage reaction was to the spot. The report supports previous stories that many of the remarks were unscripted, including Charlotte making fun of Tiffany's voice and Stratton mocking Flair's many divorces. The segment was described backstage as a wreck, and as you might imagine, backstage officials were trying to figure out what was going on. Now, on a brighter note, Fightful notes that there was no backstage heat between Flair and Stratton when they finished the promo, but Ric Flair says Tiffany's comments were very insensitive. The 16-time world champion commented on the situation as wrestling's dirtiest player in the game told Busted Open Radio, "I have an opinion, but I don't really want to voice it. I can say this, it's very sensitive. I didn't like it, but wrestling is wrestling. I hate when they use me, but Charlotte said it right. You think that's the first time hearing my name?" Flair weighed in on his daughter's wrestling skills, and as far as Rick is concerned, Charlotte, who is closing in on her famous father's record of 16 world championships, a record shared by John Cena, mentioned that Flair is 10 times the athlete that I am, so much better of a worker than I was. I can't do half the things that she does. And he gushed with praise for Charlotte Flair, saying it's not like she's 5'2 and 103 pounds. She's 5'11 and weighs 145 pounds. She works so hard. Undertaker said it best. The Queen came back to regain her crown. She deserves it. She'll be the best worker in the business, female, until the day she decides to retire. But what's the real reason behind Ric Flair not being allowed to attend WrestleMania? Speaking of Rick, will the 16-time world champion, at least by WWE standards, attend WrestleMania 41 to see if John Cena breaks his record by defeating undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes? Now, one would think that the Nature Boy would be on hand in some capacity, but that isn't happening, no matter how much he'd like to be there. Ric Flair recently appeared on Busted Open Radio and revealed, "I wish I could say that I was, but I'm not, and I understand why. I'm not mad about it by any means. Every time they talk about the title, my name gets mentioned. They keep me relevant. It's very cool. John is a great guy. Cody is a great guy." A Flair who's held more world championships than WWE recognizes explained why he won't be there. "I work for another company. I'm sure I would be more than welcome. Absolutely, if I wasn't working with Tony, I would absolutely be there. They couldn't keep me out of the building." Are you guys disappointed that Flair won't be able to be in attendance when John Cena breaks the record? Next up, Giulia returns to NXT. A former NXT Women's Champion, Giulia returned to NXT last night and wasted no time letting the WWE Universe know what's on her agenda, laying out current NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer after an impromptu triple threat brawl broke out. Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker were battling to become the #1 contender to Vaquer's title when Vaquer slapped both women, leading to a DQ finish. All three superstars began duking it out when Giulia, who's been absent from NXT TV since dropping the title to Vaquer, showed up, dropping her in the process. There's no word if this will lead to a one-on-one match or perhaps even a fatal four-way for the title, but things are really heating up as NXT prepares for its Stand and Deliver PLE during WrestleMania weekend. Next up, Linda McMahon dismisses the Ring Boys lawsuit. Just a heads up, this report contains discussions of sexual assault which may be distressing to some readers, so we do advise discretion. Now, it is time for an update on the current Ring Boys lawsuit against TKO Holdings and Linda and Vince McMahon. Post Wrestling's Brandon Thurston described the basis of the lawsuit, saying, "The former Ring Boys allege former WWF ring announcer Mel Phillips, who died in 2012, actually abused them throughout the 80s. The McMahons were the lead executives of the WWF throughout the decade. With Phillips deceased, the Ring Boys seek to hold the McMahons and the company they founded accountable for what they allege was negligence that allowed Phillips to abuse them." Linda McMahon left her role with WWE in 2009. But now Linda McMahon is looking to dismiss the case, and note this report only involves Linda's legal maneuverings and not TKO Holdings or Vince McMahon's. In a new motion filed Monday, Linda McMahon's attorneys argued that the Ring Boy lawsuit should be dismissed because she has no significant connection to Maryland where the lawsuit is filed. Now, without stepping into a legal labyrinth, the core of Linda's motion is, as Thurston reports, McMahon's lawyers made the argument that she has no sufficient connection to Maryland for the lawsuit to be rightly litigated in the US District Court in the state. If her argument is successful, it could severely limit the plaintiff's ability to bring claims against the defendants elsewhere due to the statutes of limitations in other jurisdictions. Next up, NXT fans unload on Swerve Strickland. It looks like the F-bomb Swerve Strickland dropped on Booker T at AEW's Dynasty pay-per-view isn't going unanswered. WWE fans on hand at last night's NXT show took some time to defend announcer Booker T following Swerve Strickland cursing out Booker at Dynasty. And fan footage has been revealed of the show, and all you can hear is loud chants of "F you Swerve." And Booker was also enjoying the moment, as you can see. While not all AEW and WWE fans are loyal to their brand, with some actually able to enjoy pro wrestling in general, there are many fans on each side who are ready to make their opinions known, whether it's social media or at live events. And finally, a WWE Divas champion signed to a Legends deal. And last but not least, congrats to former Divas champion Kelly, as Fightful Select is reporting that Kelly has signed a WWE Legends deal. Kelly last competed at the WWE's 2022 Royal Rumble, but there's no word on whether she planned to return for any more in-ring appearances, but if she's at a Legends deal, you can expect her to appear in the future. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.